Let's talk affordability. More specifically, in this video, I want to talk about the difference between what you qualify for and what you can afford. There is a difference. It's very important. I'm going to get into it. All right, Matt the Mortgage Guy, residential mortgage broker, licensed in 47 states. If you want to connect with me and my team and talk about what you qualify, talk about what you can afford, go to greatmortgagebroker.com. In this video, I want to talk about the difference because day in and day out, I'm having conversations with clients across the country. Affordability is something that's top of mind with everybody. So when we're talking affordability in the housing market, that's a very personal thing. And if you don't get any other takeaway from this video, take that away, that your personal level of affordability is something that only you know. Don't let a lender tell you, here's what you qualify for, and let that determine how much you're going to buy. A great lender is going to show you options and let you decide. It's going to ask you questions, and from those questions, help you figure out a game plan that not only are you qualified to execute on, but a game plan that you're comfortable with. So let's take an example, because mortgage qualification, they do their best to set guidelines, but it's not perfect. And I can tell you, as a math guy, as a guy who's been around finance for most of my life, I have a degree in it, but I think that the degree, honestly, is a lot more, a lot less of where my knowledge comes from. A lot more of my knowledge comes from thousands of financial analysis with real life people, right? Versus textbooks and all the stuff I did back at the wonderful Sacramento State University. Qualification wise, what do you qualify for is just based on a debt to income ratio, meaning how much is your debt on this side, and that's mortgage payment, that's credit card payments, that's student loans, that's car payments, whatever debt obligations you have, versus your income. And the debt to income ratio determines how much you qualify for. Where this can overqualify some people is when there's no debt obligations. Somebody's paid everything off, and they live a life that's relatively, stress-free and simple. They don't need luxurious cars with $800 payments. They don't need, a boat or to rack up $40,000 on a credit card that they've got to pay $750 a month towards. So they're living the good life. It's a great thing, but what's happening when I run numbers and do a pre-qualification is they've got nothing else on the debt side. So they can qualify for a mortgage that might be 40% of their gross income. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't want a mortgage that's 40% of my gross income. Example, you make $10,000 a month, and that's pre-tax, taxes, insurance, retire, whatever else comes out of your check, and what you bring home is a whole other story. $10,000 gross, you might qualify for a $4,000 payment. What I'm saying in this video, as a mortgage professional, is that $4,000 payment you qualify for isn't the same thing as what fits in your budget, right? And so you need to take it upon yourself. Hopefully you've got some great guidance from a great real estate agent and a great lender on your side to back into what's a comfortable mortgage payment. Have you been paying $2,400 a month in rent, $3,200 a month in rent? It's different for different parts of the country. I know for some, this might sound ridiculous. $3,200 might be great rent in some parts of California. When you know what you've been paying in rent and what's been left over at the end of the month, you have a pretty good idea of how much you can truly put in that housing bucket and live comfortably. You apply for a mortgage, you make $10,000 a month, you've got very little debt. Congratulations, you can buy a house for $675,000 with this interest rate and 20% down, taxes, insurance, principal and interest, $4,000 a month. You got this. The takeaway from the video is just because you qualify doesn't mean you can afford it. If you've been paying $2,500 a month in rent, $3,000 a month in rent, and you're barely getting by, there's no money left at the end of the month, or there's a lot of month left at the end of the money, you like that one? Then you've got to really, truly analyze what you can afford. Because as somebody who is a big advocate of real estate, a big advocate of home ownership, we love, creating wealth and doing what we can with home ownership, but I don't want to be part of a nightmare. I don't want to be part of stress. I don't want to be part of, a story that ends in a foreclosure or something like that, right? So when you're going through the pre-approval process, it's the best time to sit back, relax, put together a plan, know what you can afford, and lead with that when you make home buying decisions. Don't lead with how much do I qualify for. As much as I try to steer away from it, 9 out of 10 buyers ask me the question, what's the max I qualify for? I prefer home buyers coming in and saying, we're targeting a $3,000 a month mortgage payment, a $3,200 a month mortgage payment. And we tailor a plan towards that. Don't come and tell me you want to buy something in California and you're targeting a $1,200 mortgage payment. There's no magic wand that's gonna allow that to happen. But realistically, go in with a plan of something that fits in your budget, something you can afford, not what's the max I qualify for. That's all I got. Questions, comments, concerns, let me know. Hopefully this was helpful. I thought it was a good topic. Somebody brought up to me about the difference between what you qualify for and what you can afford. Any other topics you want to hear, please, I'd love to get some feedback. I'd love to hear what you want to hear. 700 plus videos on this channel. There's some I probably got to redo because I can update them 5 years later or 7 years later, but about a decade in and 750, 800 videos in, there's probably stuff that you're looking for if you're looking for mortgage advice, home buying advice here, or here. Check it out.